You're listening to Radio Platform. Find us on Twitter, Facebook at Radio Platform with 2 Fs.
Hello everyone. Welcome to this, I suppose, gloomy Tuesday afternoon, wherever you are. Could be anywhere. Could be better weather for you. My name is Luke, but you can call me Deano, and this is the Deano Reviews radio show. Yeah. Well, I suppose I should start with introducing myself. So, I am just a guy who really likes films, TV show, pop culture, all of that. And I also have a big fan of, like, not only radio but performance, so I thought this would be a really good chance for me to just kind of put myself out there and just talk about the stuff I like. Then again, my opinions are my opinions. You may not agree with it. Hopefully it's amusing. I'm a bit of a rambler. I will put that out there immediately. So yeah, I'm just a big fan of pop culture, and I just have a lot of love for films, TV, all of that, and I thought this would be a good platform, pun intended, here from Radio Platform and Puff, just to talk about it, and hopefully it's amusing. But yeah, just give an idea of who I am, really. So I'm Luke Deano, and I am from Bristol originally, and about a year or so ago I moved up to here in South Wales, and just trying to find a place to, like, get my voice heard a bit more, and I stumbled across this, and it's been like a really lovely chance to put myself out there. And I actually did something very similar to this years and years and years ago, when I was in university at my student union's radio platform, and it was called the same thing, Deano Reviews radio show. I was a bit of a younger lad, a bit more of a rambly lad. I'm gonna shout out my, like, YouTube channel and all of that, but I put those old episodes online there. I don't know if they're amazing. I am like 18 years old, or 19 rather, and I'm just rambling on about, like, everything that popped in my head, so it wasn't exactly condensed. Hopefully this is now. Hopefully my brain has gone a bit more mature and can actually streamline thoughts, so that actually I don't know, not just racking to anyone's brain. But yeah, I used the same concept, same logo and everything, and I thought this is kind of a weird, what was it, like 7 years later, continuation of that, and very different location, very different circumstances, a bit of a different me, I would say. Yeah, like, grow older. I wouldn't say more mature. You'll find that with me, but yeah, so this is me coming back and giving it another go. But I thought I would, if I'm here to talk about films, whoever might be listening, whoever you are, hi mum, would get an idea of what my film tastes are, and, like, see if there's, you know, if you can connect to it on that way, kind of, I guess, setting the groundwork of, like, where I am, what I'm a fan of. So I got my letterbox open here because I'm pretentious. Actually, not pretentious. It's a great app. I love the app. And whoever's listening, in case you're interested, my username or handle is Deano Reviews. Deano. Don't know why. I don't think Dino counts as pronouncing Dino, but, you know, to each their own there. And yeah, my logo is, like, orange with, like, a white scribble on it, so that you should find me on there, and you can find all my, I don't know if qualified thoughts. You know, if it's your own thoughts, it's qualified within yourself. And I put lists on there. I've just kind of rated a bunch of stuff that I've recently watched, because a bit about me is I love physical media. I've always loved DVDs, collecting it. Like, it can be said now that, streaming, it just takes up room. We're kind of reversing now, whereas, like, streaming is better than television, is there, you can put it on immediately. But now with, like, just, like, streaming services pretty much saying, like, pay for ads. So I'm like, is television again, and, like, I want to watch this very particular film. What of the 7 streaming platforms do I find it on? And obviously piracy isn't amazing. Sometimes you just have to resort to that, going on a very shady website to find on, like, a Daily Motion, look, is there. It's in 240p. And so I've always loved DVDs. I tried to convert to Blu-rays years ago, but I just found them more expensive. And, you know, once you have, like, 1,000 DVDs, kind of, it's hard to replace all of them. But essentially, I got all these films at my house, and a good bunch of them are just films I've never seen before. I just got to like being given them, or just like buying it and just never getting around to it. And for like the past year and a half, me and my partner, we've done these like little movie nights. Like she puts on a film, I put on a film, and whenever it's my choice, I take a DVD that like essentially as soon as I see it, I'm happy to get rid of it. Maybe I'll really, really love it, and I'm like, oh cool, no, staying in my little collection, watch it anytime, literally no Wi-Fi needed. Physical media is amazing, and then that's in your brain. I feel like when you watch a film that you've been meaning to get around to, I don't know why, it's sad, but not sad, but I just feel like, oh, I accomplished something today. I cultured myself more. Finally, I ticked something off, because you only have so many hours, and it just nice to actually get around to the stuff you've been meaning to watch. And so yeah, just trying to get through them, and like a bit make room for other DVDs. And so on my little letterbox, and just making like a list of whenever my partner chooses a film, is a film on this list when it's like Adam Sandler or Barbie, and then for me it's it's artsy fartsy, we'll say that. So it will go from like Barbie and the Unicorn Princess of Ermintrude, and then it's Punch Drunk Love. And so I mean, like, we rate them, we give them an average rating, and then like it kind of goes, and you can see it's the most like hodgepodge of a movie watch list, but that's something I got on there. So it is giving me a reason to talk about some films I'm going to talk about today that I finally ticked off the list, got the DVD out. And on here, I made this years ago, and I think it still stands, is my top, not my top 10 favourite films, I'm going to say my top tier favourite films, or at least them in a scattered order. The four, I'd say even top five maybe, they're pretty much locked in. That's the order. That has been the case for a long time, but a lot of them are just films I've always had a massive love of. So I'm going to go through them, and hopefully that gives you an idea, me, my tastes, and yeah, we'll give it a go. I'll say a lot of these, I kid you not, I've seen them once, years ago, and I immediately was like, that's now one of my favourite films. And maybe it's because I consider it such an experience, not exhausting, but it's like, I can just say it immediately, and I have to be in a very certain mood to watch it again, because some of these aren't casual watches. Films like I could put on Aladdin any other time of day, but if I want to put on, like I'll say in a minute, Donnie Darko, but it's a film I like respect. Like, it's one of those weird things of like, what do you know is objectively, that's one of the best films ever, but it's not to your taste, so it's preference. Like when I watched Citizen Kane years and years and years ago, I get it, but it's not one of my favourite films. Like, there's objectivity and subjectivity is what I'm trying to say. But I'll start from the semi-beginning. I put on here, this isn't a film, Bo Burnham's Make Happy. Bo Burnham, if you don't know him, he is like this comedian that like combines theatre, introspectiveness, like things about his mental health, kind of just like self-analysing. Like it's one of the greatest artists of our time. If you've seen Inside on Netflix years ago, God knows where he is now, but I saw the special of his, Make Happy, when I was like 16. One of the most inspirational things I've ever seen. So even if it's not a film, it is a work of art. Is like, that's the thing. It has the conventional stand-up in it, but by the end it just hits you like a powerhouse of like what he's saying about himself. Like, is it healthy? Like this performance. What is performance? Is a beautiful piece of work, and I even if it's a film, I count it. I've always loved stand-up comedy, and he's just like up there for me. After that, I have Beetlejuice, great, creative, innovative film of its time. The musical is coming to London, actually. I'm a big musical guy. That's something else about me. And so I'm hoping to see that. And Beetlejuice, I think it might be my favourite Tim Burton's work. It's just an absolute marvel. Beetlejuice is on screen for 14 minutes, and he makes that much of an impact, and it is bonkers. It is like, you can imagine, I don't know, I think how you think of this imagery and this iconography, and it's just, and the concepts just tight, and it's just like so off the wall, and it is just so, it is crazy how they made something like that at the time. and it's just so like, I don't know what a word for it is, but the imagination, that's a word for it. The absolute imagination of all the puppetry and stop motion is it's a classic. The way it's made, and the fact they made Beetlejuice, and I'd say it's still, I mean, all the actors are a bit older now, but it still captures that heart. It's not like CGI fest. It's not completely nostalgia. I think that film turned out pretty solid, if I remember right. After that, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a childhood favourite of mine, and another film that was just absolutely insane. For the time it was made, it turned out that solid. Like, it proved proof of concept, but actually still having this just completely captivating world building of, like, it's like a noir detective, but it's like interacting with like cartoon characters, and it takes itself semi-seriously, but it's also like such a good satire of that genre. And it's like I would watch behind the scenes as a kid, and it's just like they have these like guns on wires, like the actual prop guns, but then they have to have it so the animators can have the cartoon weasels hold them and make it look like they're actually there. And like, you see films that, I don't know, for what it is, Looney Tunes Back in Action or Space Jam 2 are the absolute, I don't know why it's on the Criterion Collection, that of actors interacting with characters who aren't there, that's patient zero, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And it is just so funny and creative, and it's like, oh, you don't make them like this anymore. And Bob Hoskins, it's actually like, there's some parts of it that's actually quite heavy, like everything to do with the main character and losing his brother is absolute brilliant film. This is a really random thought, but as a kid I had the DVD, and they had this, I don't know, deleted scene where the main character would go into this tunnel trying to investigate, and he was like kidnapped by Christopher Lloyd's, what's it, Judge Doomsday, and he was thrown out and he had like a pig head on him, and it's like, I was watching it, I was quite young, actually kind of disturbing, because he's just been essentially mutilated by having this cartoon pig head on him, so it's kind of like stupid, but it's also just kind of gruesome in the context of the world, because bear in mind the main character hates toons. It's just that is brilliant, just for its time. Next I put, now this is a film I have not seen in years, but I just kind of have a feeling it still holds up, it's still amazing, I should watch it again. But again, it's Where the Wild Things Are. If you remember what's this, 2010? Yeah, like based off the book. And it's kind of, what's it like, how do I put it? Fantasy, childhood wonder of a kid runs away from home, he meets all these creatures, like, what's the concept? Like, just kid befriending like a big creature, like, I don't know, E.T. or something like that. But then it just slowly turns into something a bit more darker, a bit more sinister. Like, this world isn't always cracked up to be Coraline, which is on here, spoilers. And it is brilliant. If I remember right, it's just brilliant. And then the kid realizes, this isn't what I want. This isn't, like, what's it, like, don't get what you wish for, like, what's the phrase you do when something you wish for, doesn't turn out great, and so I need to watch it again. I remember, like, the CGI is actually crazy, like, these fantastical designs, and it makes it look kind of like it's in our reality. I think it holds up. I don't think it's talked enough about. I just have that feeling from when I watched it a very long time ago. That is like an absolute marvel. That is a gem. Next on here, The Crow, which might be one of my favourite superhero films. That's the thing, it's not something that I think is perfect. If this was my top 10, it wouldn't be extremely up there, but it's just the gothic noir style. It's absolutely drowning. It's covered in style. It's absolutely just so brilliantly produced and made. And of course, Brandon Lee, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but the star as, this is one of my favorite films, trying to remember the actual main character's name, but it's Eric something or other, but it escapes me. The Crow, an absolute spellbinding performance. Like, he is absolutely in control of the screen, And it's just the sad tragedy. When you think of the film, you think of the sad tragedy that he lost his life on that set. It's this bitter irony, given the fact that the film is about someone who is brought back to have some unfinished business, and he unfortunately passed away during that. So the film also holds this weight to it of like, I think it's just fantastic. That's the thing, in its own way, it's a conventional superhero film, revenge, kill the bad guy, but there's scenes there that can have a bit more to it. There's more layers to it about loss and redemption, and is absolutely brilliant. And I dressed up as a crow for Halloween when I was 15, and let's just say I didn't have the same amount of gravitas because I was a little baby-faced boy, and I covered myself in I believe it looked like insane clown posse makeup. Anyway, so after that, another film that is let's just say not like the most uplifting, I don't know, sugar-coated, colourful type Coraline, which I mentioned, is also one of my favourite animated films. It's insane that this was Laika's first film, and I think it might still be their best. I know they got one coming out this year that I'm really looking forward to. I just found out about it, Wildwood. I was like, where's Laika? And because I know their film never made that much amount of money. As a reminder, Paranorman, Box Trolls, Missing Link, which I haven't seen. I'll see that one just for the sake of being completionist. I heard it's not that great. Kubo and the Two Strings, which I need to watch again. And this one, apparently they can always make stuff. Like, I think I looked this up. Like, it doesn't matter if they don't make that much amount of money. I think they're always safe. But this one has taken like 6-7 years to make, Wildwood, so I definitely need to see that. But Coraline still holds up. I saw it in the cinema and I freaked out, much like when I was 5, and my neighbour took me to see Prisoner of Azkaban, and when the aunt was getting very big, it scared me. Coraline and Monster House, if you remember Monster House. What's the name? Old Man Jenkins? Like, the guy goes out and he's waving, oh, get off my lawn, it's my house, don't get near the house. And that freaked me out. This freaked me out. When that other mother turned into a big skinny, that's the name of her, she's a big skinny, and absolutely jaw-dropping how far they went, because it is a horror film, and I can still watch these videos of like theories of like the symbolism. Is she still trapped in that world? It is absolutely so interesting, and the absolute, like, the music and the shots is not just a kids film. It is so thought out and considerate and deliberate of what it's trying to show you, and it is just so, again, style, if there's another word for it, it is just absolutely marvelous. But yeah, I'm just bearing in mind how much else I want to talk about today, so I'm going to quickly rapid fire. John Wick, absolutely powerhouse of an action film, and it is just it is like much like Spider-Verse with its own animation. This is like action film. Oh, it's John Wick. We want it to be like John Wick. The neon, the lighting, the house music. Keanu Reeves is absolutely, he is dedicated, and he is, I don't think they should make a fifth one, leave it at 4, but I think the first John Wick 4 is amazing, but this one, simple, killed my dog, gonna kill you, brilliant. Donnie Darko, absolutely, again, film I've seen once, and I don't remember a huge amount because it was so long ago, but I just know how amazing it is, and I had to watch so many explained videos about it, my god, about that ending and the plane going through his ceiling. But it is just, I remember it being a slow burn, but is so, just, it is a grand film. It is like with the bunny, and like, it just makes you think, and it's just absolutely insane. It is insane. But no, I remember, I need to watch it again. I'm sure I would still count it, but I just, that immediate feeling like, that was good, that's one of my favourites. And that doesn't happen all the time. I'm not always that generous of like, that's a 3.5 stars, that's one of my favourite films. I'm not always that insanely generous. Like, I can be with films that people find really, really bad. I'd be like, that was alright. But it's not all the time. I was like, that was a great film, but it's not like I ever need to see it again. Aliens, brilliant, absolutely. Just, oh my god, the practical effects, the characters, that's the thing. If you like action, you like aliens. If you like horror, you like Alien. But this one, the world it's made, and oh my god, it is just brilliant in terms of like 80s action film. and like what it does with the xenomorph species and like the relationships between the characters, ignoring what they do to those characters in like Alien 3 and beyond. But in a similar, well, James Cameron, the Terminator, I prefer the Terminator to Terminator 2. Again, objectively, I can understand why Terminator 2 is better. I can understand it is more expansive. It is the absolute pinnacle of what a sequel can do. It's Shrek 2, much like that. It's very similar films. But the Terminator, I like it when it's simple. It's just like, I mean, define simple, but this is like, run away from the robot, don't let it kill you, try to kill it. It is just, and the absolute, oh my god, it's so smart about it. It's like, oh, John Connor, but in the end, I'm John Connor's dad. It's just all that, spoilers. But it's like, and just some of the practical effects, they do not hold up. Arnold Schwarzenegger's head does not look like him in some scenes, when he's, got a robot eye, but it's still such like a run away from this creature, and it is crazy how low of a budget is made, because James Cameron, he made that flying off the seat of his pants. It is crazy. But yeah, we're nearing like definite favourites is in there. Groundhog Day, absolute, I think is such a beautiful concept. A guy has a whole character arc by repeating the same day over and over again. He's in the same circumstances, and over what can I believe is 80 years, that's what YouTube tells me, he changes, and it is so methodical, and it is so calculated, and it is absolutely, I think it's beautiful. I think, and funnily enough, it was turned into a musical. Songs written by Tim Minchin, also one of my heroes, who made the songs for Matilda the musical. That's coming to the WMC, definitely see that. And Groundhog Day is not as it didn't create that much of an impact as Matilda, but is probably my favourite theatre experience I've ever had. Because it went to the Old Vic some years ago, because I didn't think I'd ever get to see it because it wasn't that successful on Broadway, and it starred Andy Cole, same guy who played him when that show was coming to be, and it did the same thing, and the songs are amazing, but the movie just still holds up. Bill Murray that's the thing, it's funny, but it still has a lot to say. It's still deeper, and he starts off as this completely vain, selfish a-hole, and when he ends as someone who's just like, I think the most brilliant part of it, I don't even know if this is in the musical, is when he ends with, I want to live here. After so much time living in that town, originally wanted to leave it as soon as possible, and he's seen every part of it, every aspect. He probably knows every grain of, like, I don't know, every lint of dust, whatever, like it is in his mind, and he still wants to be there. I think that is such a beautiful thing, and it is immaculate. And after that, Dead Poet Society, a film that is like, it can absolutely rip your heart out, but it's about these boys just, like, I don't know, just finding the beauty of language and just finding camaraderie with each other. And Robin Williams proves how much he was just more than a comedic actor. He was an amazing actor. And I think my family was watching it, not like Boxing Day, I don't know why, I just went downstairs and they were watching it, and there's a certain thing that happens with a character near the end of the film, absolutely tragic, and just the dialogue is just expertly written, just everything, carpe diem, everything like that, and the atmosphere, because you're in the school the entire film, and you understand the lives of these kids and these teenagers rather, and yeah, you find who they are and what they want to do. Next up, we got Your Name. I'll say this, I like anime. I know there's a taboo. It could be a stigma of, I don't know, what's it, like cringe, or something silly like that. Film is film, media is media. Just it's Japanese animation. Like, it can have this thing around it of like, it's good stuff. It's good shows. It's good films. They know what they're doing. It's like it's still valid. It's like, oh, I don't want to watch a subtitled film. I don't want to watch a black and white film. It's like that. It's like, to each their own. It's like, I like to be open-minded like that. I like it. But Your Name, I've seen, I love Studio Ghibli. I've seen Akira. I've seen Ghost in the Shell. But Your Name, this director's gone on to make Weathering with You, which I saw recently. Brilliant. Sutsumi on Netflix. Brilliant film as well. This one is it's like perfect. It's like the music by Radwimps and the climax, like this adrenaline, the beauty, the impact, like is so human, but it's also so fantastical. It is just the most beautiful film, like one of the most beautiful films ever. The animation, it is jaw dropping. Like generally, if you ever see it, like try to see it in like the highest quality possible, and like it's a romance story, but it's just like stunning. It is a stunning film. Okay, it's like top 5 now. Speed round again. Still some stuff I want to talk about, but we'll condense it. Back to the Future. It makes sense. Perfect. 10 out of 10. So, to everyone, it's probably one of their favourite films. Everyone has that poster on their wall. It is just, yeah, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Every character, song, atmosphere, vibe, the car, the iconography, it is just lightning in a bottle. Absolutely, it is Back to the Future. It is just mad. Ignore the fact that it's about a kid's mum trying to get with him, and all that weirdness. But besides that, it's Back to the Future. It makes sense. It used to be, because this is my 4th favourite film. And I don't know if this is me, I don't want to be a normie, but like, there's some films that you know are perfect, and yeah, are up there, but there's some films that just more resonate with you nostalgically. Like, I don't know, like, it's been with you for all your life, and it just means a lot to you. And that's why my 4th favourite film, this is legit, this is now, my 4 is my 4, in this order, is A Muppet Christmas Carol. Legit. My partner may realise this, it's just like, why is your 4th Back to the Future? You go on about A Muppet Christmas Carol all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love Christmas. You know, been and gone, as it always does, very quickly. I love Christmas. What's my favourite Christmas film? It's A Muppet Christmas Carol. Is it still a great film on its own? Yes. Have I seen it so, like, dozens and dozens of times? Yes. I've seen it so many ways. I recently saw it live in concert in Swansea, which was one of the best nights ever. I dressed as Kermit. People kept thinking I was Shrek. And that's not even a joke. And I've seen it. By the way, this is obviously the cut with When Love Is Gone in it. If you know, you know. They said it was boring, but it's on Disney Plus. So if you ever watch it, this is me being a contrarian. My God, it sounds so like I'm gonna say wanky, but like just go on to the extras and then you see Muppet Christmas Carol with song included or extended cut or something like that. Watch that version. And what other ways have I watched it? Oh my God, it's like I've just seen it in all sorts of ways. Just like oh my God, it's just beautiful. I've like sung A Thankful Heart at like musical sing-alongs, all of that. I still tear up when Beaker gives Scrooge the scarf. I just love how Michael Caine was treating it like, hey, Kermit's just a fellow actor. He's a fellow thespian, and it's immaculate. Songs are brilliant. It is like a really faithful adaptation of the book. Because when I was younger, I don't know if it was like a novelization of the Jim Carrey version, which is terrifying, or if it was just a book, but some of it's line for line. And it's not a parody of itself. It holds on moments, like it wants to have you feel something. It is beautiful. Third is The World's End, my favourite Edgar Wright film. Everyone said, yeah, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. I feel like I'm in a minority with this. The World's End, I love sci-fi. And with this one, it's a bit more to say about letting go of the past, you know, not growing up. I think Gary King is like one of the most compelling characters. The editing, the just quick cutting is absolutely, it's just expert, absolutely expert, and it is genuinely jaw-dropping, and like just how well the film is structured, and it's crazy. And like I actually looked up once if that Golden Mile is real, but some of those pubs they're not even a real location. They were built for the film, but like the effects are still good. I think it's just such a hidden gem, and it flips that known dynamic of Nick Frost and Simon Pegg really well. It is absolutely that end. I watched that ending a lot with Gary King just revealing how broken he really is. It's so good. And the end, I think the actual like ending of what is the result of all their actions is it subverts expectations. Sometimes not always great. Some people don't like that ending. I think it's fair enough. I think, yeah, why not? Second favourite film is the director's cut of Little Shop of Horrors, my favourite musical. And director's cut as in with the ending that's faithful to actual Broadway version, which is really dark. Rick Moranis is perfectly cast. Audrey 2, the animatronics look insane for the time. I would watch that behind the scenes so much. Turns out at the very end when the plant is the biggest possible, if you know, you know. I'm not explaining the plot of all these films if you don't know them, but yeah, it's like plant is eating people, and this was made in the 80s, so they didn't have CGI for a big giant animatronic plant, so it was so big they had to like slow the song down and speed up the footage so the plant was actually moving normally. The songs are just timeless. And it is just, and it's all within this one set, and it's just, oh my god, there were a lot of these films I just go like, just good, and it's hard to say precisely why, but it is just, I think it's a classic. I think more people should see it. Genuinely, more people should see that film. Number one favourite film is The Grand Budapest Hotel, Wes Anderson. I'm a massive fan of. As soon as I've seen The Grand Budapest Hotel, what was it? It was 2014, 2015, and yeah, mid-teenager. And I was a very mid-teenager in terms of quality. And Grand Budapest Hotel is my cup of tea. It's like this colourful fable of this, it's like a fairy tale. And I watch it over and over again, and there's still stuff I miss because it's so, like, consciously just everything. It's just the method of, like, what he wants his shot to be and what to be in the frame. It is just, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And the writing is on point. And I think because Wes Anderson, he can become a self-parody. It can be said that. Of all the films all the characters speak in a deadpan way. Is there much more emotionally? Or is it just style over substance? I think The Grand Budapest Hotel has a lot of melancholy to it, especially near the end. And the relationship between Zero and Gustav H. is Ray Fiennes, by the way. Probably his best out of all I've seen. My favourite performance of his. And it is just beautiful. In fact, I've been planning this holiday for years. I'm going to go to Gorlitz where they filmed the majority of that film because I'm just such a big fan of it. And I would like analyse this film like in sixth form as like a project. I'm just absolutely in awe of it, and I've seen it so many times now. And like the A-list cast being used, and I love how it's in chapters. I love films when it's like structured in chapters is absolutely brilliant, I think. And just all the soundtrack and it's a flashback within a flashback. It is just immaculate. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, it's quirky. It has a bit more of an introspectiveness to it. It's colourful. It's funny. It's one of a kind. It's not another film like it. That's why it's my favourite film. So yeah, that's all. That's my film taste. Yeah. So if that should give you a good idea of who I am. And hopefully if you like that. So yeah, a film might come up I might not like, you might like. And, now you get an idea of what I'm going for here. But I got about half an hour left, and we're going to talk about some films that I've recently seen. I'm going to go with a new film. I'm going to go with an older film from that DVD collection that I was just talking about. Get into it. And new film again, old film again. Got 4 films. Gonna quickly go over them here. So, first up, a film that I've very, very recently seen. I'm going to play with each film, bit of the trailer, bit of the audio of it, give an idea, or maybe refresh your memory, if you've heard about it or anything. And so first film we have is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So let's see how this goes.
Trying to predict the future is a discouraging and hazardous occupation. In fact, it may not even exist at all.
Oh, what is this I cannot see? Oh, I am deaf, none can excel.
Many of the things we take for granted will one day pass away completely.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
When that time comes, men will no longer communicate. We may have diseases and barbarism. The whole world will cease to make any sense.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
Look at the incredible changes we've experienced and survived. And yet even greater changes are still to come.
Are you ready?
My soul shall scream in hell.
And when I say I'm going to review it, I'm actually going to do that next week. This was just part one. This was just to give an idea of who I am, get a vibe. And no, but next week I'll give you a little tease. We are, well, not next week. It's actually going to be immediately after this. We're going to combine them into one. A little, not movie magic, radio magic rather. So, but I'll tell you what I'll be doing. I'll be reviewing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And then I'm going to review an old film that I've recently seen, Natural Born Killers. After that, I'm going to review a very recent film that I got to see with my partner recently, Rental Family, starring Brendan Fraser. I immediately recommend it. Absolute, like, pulls on your heartstrings. Then, a bit of an older film, Drive, one of the many films I got to see recently. But, thank you for listening. If you're leaving us now, but this is all together, you'll hear my voice immediately afterwards, so apologies for your ears. But no, it's been lovely. Have a chat, put myself out there. My name's Luke. My name's, otherwise, Deano. For here now, I would recommend if you go onto YouTube, type in @Deano channel, Deano. You should find my YouTube channel there, so you can just see my little stupid cartoon face. You'll know it's me. Like I said, Letterboxd, Deano reviews there. Potentially, I'll put this out there as well. I haven't used it in years. This one I want to get my YouTube channel going. Nothing ever happened. I do have an email, deanoreviews@hotmail.co.uk. I haven't opened it in ages, but if you do listen to this and you're like, hey, I want to, reach out, hey, I recommend this film, or hey, can you review this, blah, 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 answer any question, I don't know, in case you want to, send it there and I'll see what happens. But, thank you for listening, thank you for getting an idea of who I am and indulging me, but I hope you have a good rest of your day, and let's get this going. My name's Deano, thank you for listening to the Deano Reviews radio show. See you later.
Your platform, your voice, your station. You're listening to Radio Platform.
You're listening to Radio Platform. Find us on Twitter, Facebook @Radio Platform with 2 Fs.
Hello everyone, this is the Deano Reviews radio show on a, hopefully nice for you all, Tuesday afternoon. This, depending on where you're listening to, a continuation from my first show here at the lovely Radio Platform Port last week. So this is a part 2 of sorts, but you may be listening to this as one complete thing, one complete hour. So, for the sake of consistency of, let's say, 20 seconds ago, what a lovely time of day this is, and I have not moved from this chair in any week. In any week? It has been a week, but it hasn't been a week. Time travel. Welcome. Earlier on the show, I was talking about my favourite films. I was trying to set a groundwork, trying to set a foundation of who I am, why you should listen to me, why I should be on this pedestal, like the almighty god that I am, trying to get a vibe to you all of my film taste. If I'm going to be reviewing stuff, what do I like? And I think what may come across with my film taste, going through my favourite films on my letterbox, because if you like film, you got to have a letterbox, oh my god. Not for Postman, but the app. Is that, my taste in films can be considered mainstream. I can admit that. That's the thing. You see, it's kind of a meme, kind of a joke on the internet that you see all these going like red carpet interviews with celebrities. Like, what's your 4 favorite films? And they say the most avant-garde, just niche things like you've never heard of. Like, oh, what's my favorite film? It's the Evil Year 1928. The fact that only 3 words of dialogue was said, really spoke to me, and come across pretentious. And then cuts to my favorite films is like, I really like Muppet Christmas Carol. So yeah, can my taste be taken with any amount of seriousness? I don't know. Maybe it can, but my film taste is all valid. But we are now, today, for the short period of time I have with you, talking about some new films, some old films, the actual review part of the show. I kind of reviewed my favourite films. Carpe diem. So, yeah. Today, I am reviewing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, to start with. Already played the trailer either last week or... I'm just going to be meta with you. Either last week or 30 seconds ago. Well, I've already started talking and I'm a rambler, so probably 5 hours now. So, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Did I like it? I absolutely loved it. It is so good. It is so, so good. I recommend it so incredibly much. But is it everyone's cup of tea? No, it wouldn't be. It is... very much, it depends on your taste. It is not a kind of cozy, laid back enjoy. It is tense. There's a lot to it, but I wouldn't just class it as horror zombie film. There is definitely more to it, and I'm going to be slightly quoting like the little review I wrote on Letterboxd. I can't stop, man. Letterboxd should be paying me right now. I actually rated it 5 stars. Now, everyone has a different way of rating something. 3 stars to someone can mean, wow, that's really bad. To me, that means it's average, it's good, it's a good film. This is my definition when it comes to the star rating here. Like 1 star, awful. 2 star, not really good at all. 2.5 star, there's some quality to it. 3 star, for me, is average, it is good. 4 star is, like, great. I say 3.5 is like pretty good, but like 4 star is great. 4.5 is really like, it's like 8, 9 out of 10 range. Now 5 star, I rated it 5 stars. Does that mean it's a 10 out of 10 perfect film? No, but I just think I can't think of a lot wrong with it. I liked so much about it, and it was just brilliant. I in terms of me with the previous films, 28 Days Later, I think it's a grounded horror classic. The fact that film was made, like you watch it, like the whole like iconic scene of him walking through a desolate London was like filmed on like a 480p camcorder or something like that, but with the tools that I had, it is like it redefined what like zombies as like creatures are. They're more infected, they're angry, they run fast, an absolute like it's how a lot of people were introduced to Cillian Murphy, like, and my boy Christopher Eccleston, Night Doctor. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. He was in it. Not the kindest character, but like it is absolutely is famous for a reason, and it is absolutely is really innovative as a film. 28 Weeks Later, I watched in preparation for 28 Years Later when it came out. What feels like 3 months ago, it's been like half a year. It is absolutely insane that we got a sequel to this. What, like, really, like, you sometimes wait like 2 or 3 years for a sequel. This was like done at the same time, and it is actually quite refreshing. I was like, because the film still relatively, it's in my mind, it hasn't been that long, and I'm really thankful for that. I don't think it should be done all the time, but at least it's like, because this film, I will say this, it kind of sets up for another film, but it kind of depends on the success, I imagine. But at least, like, I'm glad this film exists. I'm glad it was done at the same time, so it had to come out. I wasn't relying on the success of 28 Years Later. But 28 Weeks Later is a very interesting expansion. Is a lot more action-packed. Is a lot more fast-paced. It's interesting what it does with the lore. It's not as tight or maybe, I don't know, consistent. Like, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say, like, I don't know, like, not like Americanized, and what I mean by that is it's not just like, oh, constant like action, constant explosions, but there was a certain point where I thought the plot was going to go somewhere. If you haven't seen 28 Weeks Later, but I thought it was going to build upon the wife of kind of the main character. The actor, I can't forget his name, but like he's from Full Monty. Great film. And he's like left his wife behind. The opening is quite famous for that. And like, oh, like she's actually survived the infection, and then like, oh, okay, the whole film's gonna be about that. But then the bloke, he gets infected, and then like the kids are so, I found the kids annoying, they just kept running off. Like, we're just gonna explore this apocalypse. I'm just like, oh cool, something goes wrong, and the ending kind of set up for like, oh my god, the whole world was taken over, but then I think it was kind of retcon, so it's kind of weird. 28 Years Later, I found very slow paced. I found like it some people say, oh, it's kind of two films. I found it very simple now, like, oh, dad-son journey, only the UK has become this just hellscape, and like, you know, people have had to find their own way to survive in the sides of the countryside, but then it becomes this whole like, the kid wants to take his mum to see if it gets cured. I absolutely love that Ray Fiennes character was introduced, who was an absolute like showstopper, especially in this film, and I liked it. But this, I think, is just, it goes deeper. It is, I was really gobsmacked by it, and it's just, I heard it was good, but like it's just a harrowing violence mixed with all these somber conversations, especially with Jimmy Crystal's and I forget Ray Fiennes' character's name, but Ian, and like they have this interaction, you thought, oh no, it's gonna be really tense, but it's just them talking about like their different perspectives on religion. Like, one is more of an atheist, one is more of a, I'm not gonna say Christian because he praises, like, it's quite well known, like the way 28 Years Later ended was the most whiplash ever, of just like what these kind of villains this gang is dressed up as, and it's just like kind of like a tonal shift. And at first, I was like, near the end, I thought you might. I'm not gonna. I can be slow. I can be very slow. Many people in my life will agree with that. But even I was like, why are they dressed up as this famous monster? If you know, you know. Don't really spoil. It's in the advertisements. But you realise this is a different timeline. Like, this apocalypse, this zombie apocalypse, in 28 Days Later was sort of 2002. So some things about this individual they are masquerading as were never revealed, so they still kind of idolize this children's entertainer without knowing that he was a monster, and it's just fascinating. It really is. And Ray Fiennes, you didn't think he could do more. He's already known as such an incredible actor, and I've already have love for him anyway, because as discussed, The Grand Budapest Hotel is my favourite film. That's my favourite performance by him. That's what I think of him. Here, like, especially in this ending climax, is absolutely, he just goes so far. Like, I've never seen that side to him as an actor, and it is absolutely incredible. I mean, there's a saying with the youths of like, what has the sauce? The ending has the sauce. Not like Heinz sauce, but in mind, it's a metaphorical sauce. But it deserves every amount of credit it gets. I think my favourite part of the film was the relationship between Ian and Samson, an infected, an alpha of the infected, and it is so it's just interesting. It got so much to say about like finding humanity again, false prophets. It absolutely gripped me. I generally think it is a brilliant film, and I really hope another one happens, and it'll be such an interesting trilogy. Because for years I was like, oh, it's been 28 weeks later, it's now been 10 years, would I make a 28 months later? I was like, nah, 28 years later. I'm like, oh, cool, it feels like there is a completion to that, I won't say gimmick, but that hook. And now it's like, oh, second one, 28 years later, the Bone Temple, like, I'm like, no, I'm really glad this exists, and it is such a surprise. And I forget, like, Jack O'Connor, who plays Jimmy Crystal in this film, hitting out of the park with these like villain performances. If you've seen him in Sinners, my God, absolutely amazing. And that's the thing. This film, you can say it has its kind of cheap jump scares and shock for the sake of shock, perhaps, but I think it just gets so much right. The atmosphere is more, I don't know, more, what's the phrase? More than some of its parts. There's more to say. There's deep conversations in it, and I think that the reason everyone loves Ray Fiennes' character, it just plays like one just a kind doctor, and again, like that ending is kind of heartbreaking the way it goes about, but if you see in the advertisements this kind of imagery, it is absolutely insane. That's the thing, it's kind of like grounded because there's only so many characters. It's not like, all about this apocalypse that happened. It was just about this dynamic and this dynamic, and it kind of coalesces, comes together. It's kind of like, it's a weird example. It's like in Better Call Saul, if you've ever seen that show, where kind of the crime world meets the Saul Goodman lawyer world. They finally cross over, and it is kind of it feels weird. It feels weird to see, but no, absolutely spectacular film. I still say see 28 years later, so you have the context of a lot of characters. Not all of them show up here, but it is absolutely fantastic. I really recommend it. So yeah, that is already one of my favorites of the year. But yeah, that was a new film. Next, we are going to cover an old film that I've gotten around to recently. Like I mentioned, I have all these DVDs. I just finally see the ones I've been meaning to see, make some room for others. And one of the ones I watched this like literally at 1 a.m. on my phone in bed with earphones in. It's a very weird vibe, but we're going to review 1994's Natural Born Killers. Let me get everything started here.
Platoon, Wall Street, born on the 4th of July, JFK. Oliver Stone's vision has changed the way we saw our past. Now he takes a look at where we are and where we're going, and you will be shocked at what he sees. Mickey and Mallory, feared by thousands.
I love you so much, baby.
I love you.
Watched by millions.
We're fate. Can't stop fate. Nobody can. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone or something.
Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Robert Downey Jr., and Tommy Lee Jones.
What do you have to say to your fans?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Natural born killers. In the media circus of life, they were the main attraction.
Yeah, I don't really like it. Yeah, it's an interesting one. This one, I gave it like 2.5 stars, and I thought I would like it more over time. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of faded to the back of my mind, and I don't think it was for me. I give it its merit. I do give it its merit, and who knows? Maybe if I dwelled on it more, because I know there's a lot to say. It says a lot about media's depiction of crime, and they kind of find it like tantalizing. It's like it's all superficial, and like these are actual gruesome things that happen to real innocent people, and especially I don't know, the 90s era. I could say a lot now about like it's just so frivolous, trivial, like crime podcasts, like I love listening to this, but there were actual gruesome things that happen to real people. It shouldn't be I don't know what's the word, like commercialized. So I know there's a lot there. I think it's just the way it was executed for me, and that's what leads to the top of my brain, is just the execution, the editing. If you've seen it, is so just a shock to the senses. It is so like it doesn't let up, and And I got to the point. It got to the point of annoyance. It got to the point of like this is just kind of pretentious, where it just cuts to all this like stock footage, and it's just it's so what can be said as artsy fartsy. But like obviously there are merits here. It's not like a bad film. I know it's not, because there is subjectivity and objectivity. I might have mentioned this before, but like Citizen Kane, is that an amazing film? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Is it to my taste? Will I rewatch it all the time? No. Like, it's one of those things. Merits. Robert Downey Jr. and Tommy Lee Jones deliver, like, their performances are so hammy and over the top. They are an absolute joy to watch. I didn't think Robert Downey Jr., my boy Iron Man, just doing, you know, the old Aussie accent, brilliant. And Tommy Lee Jones being like a Batman Forever Two-Face level of insane, and that is absolutely an absolute delight. That's the thing. I understand it along the lines of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where that whole film, you're in the POV, the main protagonist, and they are on drugs constantly. So the film is shown through the lens of someone who is on drugs, where the camera's just moving and all these filters and all this just cutting to this and this. You don't have a sense of time, you don't have a sense of reality, but in this case these are through the eyes of two like murderers. They're psychopaths, and so that's why it is so up and down. Like there's a sequence where it is the main the female protagonist and is their very destructive, abusive childhood, and it's shown through the lens of like a sitcom. So it's like, oh, it's something, it's like a juxtaposition of, oh, very light-hearted family sitcom, but it's talking about their father, played by Rodney Dangerfield. You know, quite, I mean, the fact of seeing him here, like, I was like, oh, I vaguely know of him, quite a fun comedian, and he's just saying the most horrible things, especially about his daughter, and so that I give it his dues. Like, it is so interestingly made that way. I mean, I looked into how like Quentin Tarantino wrote the story, but the way this was made, it's a bit like Stephen King was like, he didn't like how Stanley Kubrick made The Shining, and that's fair. You know, like it's different ways you could go about work. It's interesting like that. But yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. It gives it a lot of its merits, and like it's an interesting journey. Some scenes really captivated me. But yeah, there's some parts where I'm just like, I'm kind of I'm over this now in a way. It's like, maybe, I don't know, this says a lot about me. I'm just like, I try to be as as open-minded as possible, and I can understand the reasons. And I know there's a lot to say. It is not completely, it's not frivolous of just like, just murdering people, like, there's more to say. But yeah, it's tricky. I don't know if I'm the only one in this where it's just the delivery was just it was too much. I suppose it was just too much. But that is that one. So we did an old film. Gonna quickly do a new film. Saw this one a few weeks ago. This is 2025 still? Yeah, no, I'd say it depends on the part of the world. Starring Brendan Fraser, this is Rental Family.
The market here isn't the same anymore. It's half the rate, twice the work. But I got you a gig and the pay is actually pretty good.
What's my part? So, what do you think we do here?
We sell emotion.
How?
We play roles in clients' lives. Parents, siblings, boyfriends, girlfriends, best friends, and help them connect to what's missing.
I'm just an actor. I don't know how to help people.
What I'm offering here is a chance to play roles with a real meaning.
What do you need me for?
We need a talking white guy. This girl needs a father.
Hi, Mia. I'm your father.
I'm your father.
Hello, Mia. I'm your father.
I hate you.
She hates me.
It's what being a parent is. You could live in this country for 100 years, and there will still be things you won't understand.
Why do you do this?
Sometimes the story we tell ourselves becomes the truth. To her parents, you are her husband. These people look at you like they've been waiting for you their whole lives. And what you'll discover is that they stay with you.
Well, this is amazing.
It's cool, but it's fake.
You know, sometimes it's okay to pretend.
Yeah, really beautiful film. Really, really liked it. Yeah, 4 stars with this one. Absolutely wholesome, lovely film. It's really just a nice treat. And it stars Brendan Fraser, if I am pronouncing that right. But always a surname that's a bit of contention on how you pronounce it. Who is just the most lovable actor, and like he's like Keanu Reeves levels of like you just adore him. Just his presence on screen is a warm hug. I'll say that, and I'm so glad he has this comeback. I'm so glad that he's given his dues, and here, like, that's the thing, you see him in interviews and he's such a humble, just good guy, and like I don't know, it's not like he's awkward, it's just he's just so like I don't know, just sweet, and he brings that to this film. I think it's heightened in a way of like he's an actor who's just, but he's also just so like dealing with real people, just a bit dithering, he's a bit and he's still just a lovely character. And that's the thing, the concept of this film, there were so many points in it where I'm like, ooh, this is a bit like, in real life this would be a bit touchy, this would be a bit like, you know, if you're just kind of fooling people on oh, I'm your dad, I'm your so-and-so, so it's kind of tricking them, especially if the person doesn't know, but it can have its catharsism. But it's just still a beautiful film, and it just goes in so many directions of like Brendan Fraser's character touching different people's lives, and, you know, making them better, and that makes him better. And the way it kind of wraps up in the film of like how Brendan Fraser, I can't remember the actual character's name. It's just easier to say. And in the end, he kind of finds his family. He's no longer alone looking at other people's lives. He kind of joined other people's lives by pretending to be part of their lives or being someone in their lives. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a guy in his mid-20s, and I'm at the point, much as it is a cliche, I want to go to Japan at some point. This film made me want to go to Japan more because it's all about him being in Japan. I don't know if Brendan Fraser already just knew a bit of Japanese before this, but like he is like he that the fact he just like speaks it, and like just a good part of this film is like subtitled is just people speaking Japanese to each other, and like he did it just so casually and all, as if he's playing a guy who's lived there for like I think it's 7 years in this film, and it's just just makes Japan a very appealing place to visit, more so than I already knew it was appealing to visit. And yeah, it's just beautiful, and it's human, and it's like grounded. There was some pacing issues. Some character moments could have been done a bit more smoothly. Some like it kind of jumps around a lot between the characters. There is the funniest moment, if you know, with the people who work at this company, this place that provides like actors who pretend they're so-and-so, and they're trying to save Brendan Fraser's character, and it's just the funniest point. It's so funny. But no, really, it's such a good gem, and I'm really glad that I go around to watching it. Yeah, and it's just really sweet. It's just a really, really sweet film and wholesome. I think a lot more people need to see it. But yeah, not long left, but we're going to review one more film properly, and it's the last kind of older film. We are going to review 2011's Drive.
Do you want to see something?
Yeah.
This driver's gotta go, Bernie.
They're gonna come looking for me. And they're gonna come for you.
Any dreams you have or plans for your future, I think you're gonna have to put that on hold.
You put this kid behind the wheel, there's nothing he can't do.
In cinemas Friday.
It won't be in cinemas Friday because this was 15 years ago. Sick film. If I can use my formal film reviewing language, it's quite rad. It's really cool. Just really cool film. It's I saw it so many years ago. I think I was like, in that I was like teenage phase. I think I was 16, 17, and when I was in sixth form college, you can like borrow DVDs from the library, and that was how I tried to, I guess, culture myself and like become more knowledgeable of like the famous films out there. And I think I stumbled across this, and I couldn't remember that much about it. I really couldn't. I just remember it being good. I liked it, and me and my partner, we do these movie nights, and she chose this one, and still good, still really good. Shorter than I remember. It's like an hour and a half long, but first off, the soundtrack is awesome. It is so cool. When I can drive, hopefully by the end of this year, 26, better late than never, I will be playing what is called on the track Night Call. It's like synth wavy. I'm not a music critic. It's just so cool. It's just such a vibe. Yeah, no, the whole film is like I forget like how closed off and mysterious it's like Ryan Gosling character is. It's like Tenet levels of he's just a protagonist and he doesn't say a lot, he doesn't really have a name, of just he's just a cool guy. And I kept thinking of Baby Driver. I'm like, how much was Baby Driver like inspired by this? I imagine a lot. It's kind of similarities there. By the way, low-key, I love Tenet. It might be my favorite Nolan film. I'm definitely in minority there. I haven't seen every Nolan film, but I love Tenet. It's just a good time. But no, this one, I've got Bryan Cranston was in it. Ron Perlman was in it. And the twists and turns are kind of just, in a way, like a simple revenge, like, crime film. But it's, a gem. It's a lot more violent now, I remember. God, the violence in this is, like, really gory. Like, really, really gory. And it's definitely a candidate for, in terms of Ryan Gosling's career of being really stone-faced, cool characters with aura. I think is up there, next to Blade Runner 2049. And it's tricky. All I can think of to say is it's just a really cool film. It's really stylish. The way it's presented. It's very simple, really. And it's just a good time. I think there might be some pacing issues. Sometimes it's a bit cliche, a bit generic in terms of like the kind of crime family element. But no, it is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant in that regard. And like 3.5 to 4 stars. It's still a great film. Not really a lot to say about Drive. It's just very, it's not that complex. It really isn't that complex. And especially Ryan Gosling's performances, like, it's not like, oh, he's just nothing in the face. Like, he's still acting, but it's all about, when you think about it, it's about the music, it's about the vibe, just him driving at night. That's what it's known for. But that was the last film to properly review. I'm thinking as well, as time goes along with this show, I'll be back on the, well, depending when this goes out, it'll be every 2 weeks. You'll definitely get this show. But I'm thinking of doing something where I do like my recommendation of the week of a film I've maybe recently seen. But I might also do some quickfire ones. There'll be ones I'll go more in depth on, where I actually play like audio of the trailer and such, or a clip. But I'll quickly go through like some ones I reviewed recently. Rush, 4 stars. That was like brilliant, really interesting. I didn't think I'd find anything about Formula 1 fascinating, because it was based on a true story, but the way it's played out is really just slick. And I really enjoyed that and got really captivated by it. What else did I review? Let's see. I recently watched Oklahoma, like the Hugh Jackman musical before. I love musicals. That was about 4 hours. That I found a good old cheesy time. Weathering with You, maybe my recommendation of the week is maybe by the same director of Your Name, one of my favorite films, Japanese animated film. The ending is pretty wild, but still really beautiful animation, and the music hits hard. But I think my recommendation of the week will be Catch Me If You Can. That's one I finally got round to, like 4.5 stars. Steven Spielberg, just doing what he does best. I looked up the true story of, if you don't know, it's about, you know, like this famous con artist, and he's being chased by Tom Hanks's character, the real guy, Frank Abagnale. I watched the video recently. Actual monster, really bad guy, and a lot of it was fabricated. But the film is really gripping of this cat and mouse chase, and like it just makes Leonardo DiCaprio's character the most charming man you will ever see. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me today, going through some films. Yeah, it's been a really, really fun time. Just, you know, sitting here having a good chat, and yeah, no, thank you for stopping by, everyone. Been really fun just sitting here. And like I said, if you want to hear more about like what I do, like just keep track of my socials. I have a channel, Deano Reviews. If you search it up, you'll probably see my stupid face on a thumbnail. Letterboxd Deano Reviews as well. Next time I'm back, it'll be more purely reviewing stuff. But maybe I'll go through like some of my rankings of like director's work, or just some of my favorite films in general. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your week. And yeah, this has been the Deano Reviews radio show. Have a good rest of your day.
Your platform, your voice, your station. You're listening to Radio Platform.